So, last week's parsha, Parshas Lech Lecha, we were introduced to the first test of Avram Avinu, according to many. Lech Lecha mi'artzecha, leave your homeland, your birthplace, and so on, and go to land that I will show you. The first test of Avram of Lech Lecha. Now, in this week's parsha, Parshas Vayerah, we have the last and final test of Avram Avinu. Elokim nises Avram, that Hashem tests Avram Avinu with Akedas Yitzchak, with his willingness to sacrifice and to kill his only son Yitzchak. And the pasuk also introduces that test with the same language of Lech Lecha, that you should go Al Eretz HaMoriah, to the land of Moriah, to one of the mountains that I will show you, and over there make Yitzchak a carbon, and so on. So Chazal pick up on the fact that both the first test and last test both start with the same language of Lech Lecha. And Chazal say that is sort of equating the two. That the first test of Lech Lecha, mi'artzecha, of leaving your homeland, is as chashuv as Akedas Yitzchak. So much so, the Medrash tries to compare and contrast. Maybe in a certain sense one was greater than the other. But Chazal are definitely connecting these two things. And so all the commentators ask the obvious question, is that how in the world can you compare the test of Lech Lecha with the test of Akedas Yitzchak? Okay, we understand that leaving your homeland and leaving your family behind, your parents and so on, your comfort zone, that's certainly a test. But kill your only son, a son that you spent 100 years waiting for and davening for, and now that you finally have him, you're going to kill him. It goes without saying that's a greater test. So how in the world can Chazal and the pasuk, based on the pasuk, even compare these two things? So there's a teaching from the Ishbitzer in Beis Yaakov Ishbitz. He teaches us the following idea. He says that very often in life, people are looking for those opportunities to do big things. And they're looking for those opportunities because they know they can do it. They know they will do it, right? If the Rebbeinu Shalom gave me this opportunity to sacrifice everything for His sake, and to do this big thing for L'Shem Shemaim, I would totally do it. And very often people are looking for those big opportunities, and like the Mishnah says, there's lighter mitzvahs, easier things, smaller things that we don't take as seriously. But said the Yishbitzer, what Hashem Yisparach is teaching us is that if you have an opportunity to do something small, because that's all that presented itself right now, but you do it 100% l'shem shemaim, then the Rebbeinu Shalom reads into your heart, and the Rebbeinu Shalom says, well, if I asked him to do a big thing, he would do it too. The only reason why he's doing something small right now is because that's the only opportunity that presented itself. Therefore, the Rebbeinu Shalom, who determines the chashivas of mitzvahs, not based on what you're accomplishing, but based on how much devotion you're putting into it, and how much are you willing, how much self-sacrifice are you showing and are you conveying with that mitzvah. In the Rebbeinu Shalom's mind, if you do something small and easy, but you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're doing l'shem shemayim, then the Rebbeinu Shalom says, well, that level of l'shem shemayim, that level of commitment, could be used theoretically to do the biggest thing in the world. And then in the Rebbeinu Shalom's mind, that small thing equals a big thing. The Gemara says in Brachas that if a person wakes up in the morning and they, let's say they go to the bathroom, they want to make brachas, so the halach is you do until the time, you have to wash your hands. Says the Gemara, Kol hanaitel yadav, anyone that keeps the halachas from the Netilas properly is ki'ilu tayvel, as if you went to the mikveh. What does that mean? I'm only washing my hands. But the answer is, you're washing your hands because that's what you're supposed to do. And if you had to go to the mikveh, you go to the mikveh. So that means that by washing your hands, it's as if you went to the mikveh. If you do what's in front of you, as small as it might be, but you're doing it because you have to do it, and you're proud to do it, and you're happy to do it, then the Rebbeinu Shalom says, then if I gave him a big thing, he'd also do that. So to me, it's as if he did the big thing. So the first Lech Lecha, which was small, 100% compared to Akedas Yitzchak, but Avram Avinu did it because that was the opportunity that presented itself. So in Hashem Yisparach's mind, it's as if he did the biggest thing in the world because that was the opportunity that presented itself. He did that then, and when it comes to a bigger situation, he'll do a bigger thing as well. And this is what the lesson is, not to belittle any small mitzvah that comes our way, because if you do a small mitzvah with the right intention and l'shem shemayim and with devotion, by the Rebbeinu Shalom it's considered to be the biggest thing in the world. Hashem should bless each and every one of us with that level of dedication, that level of mesiras nefesh, that level of sweetness, that level of chen in ourselves and the Rebbeinu Shalom's eyes, and be zeichet to come to Shabbos with menuchas nefesh, menuchas guf, and experience both collectively and individually the redemption of our people. Amen.